Differentiation is an important teaching strategy to use in the classroom. Educators use differentiated instruction to purposely adjust curriculum, teaching environments, and instructional practices to align instruction with the goal of meeting the needs of individual students. Knowing the learner includes knowing student readiness, knowing their interests, and knowing their learning preferences. To learn if your students are ready, you can give pre-assessments, use checklists, have student brainstorm about this topic, draw mind maps, and use exit cards. Some ways to find out what your students' interests are having a community circle, having students give partner introductions, asking your students questions about themselves, and asking them to connect their interests with assignments. There are many different learning preferences. When planning your lessons, you should try to meet as many of these preferences as possible so that you can reach as many students as you can. The three styles of learning are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. There are also many multiple intelligences, and each student will have strengths with different intelligences. Also, knowing what type of environment your students like to learn in can help them get the most out of their learning. For example, some students like quiet rooms, while others prefer a little background music. It is important to use differentiation in the classroom to make sure that all students receive the education they need. The content needs to be clear and concise. It needs to meet the standards. It is important to teach at the student's level. For example, you might use varying reading level resources to help all level of learners to learn the content. Using multiple presentation methods can also help learners learn better. Process is how you can help students learn, using diagrams and illustrations, grouping students in various groups, providing assignment options, like drawings, film strips, and displays, and allowing additional class time are all good processes to help students learn the content. Using products to help students demonstrate their learning includes having them make videos, podcast models, dramatizations, or many other things. Letting students make the choice of how they demonstrate their knowledge will also help all students be more excited about their products. The learning environment is very important. Varying the location can help keep their attention and interest, setting the classroom up differently or using alternative desks, modifying the lighting for different occasions, and having effective classroom management so that students feel safe and supported are all examples of having a good learning environment. Using response to intervention will help students identify individual needs in the classroom. With RTI, schools identify students at risk for poor learning outcomes, monitor student progress, provide evidence-based interventions, and adjust the intensity and nature of those interventions depending on a student's responsiveness and identifying students with learning disabilities or other disabilities. The RTI pyramid consists of 3 tiers. Tier 1 is for the whole classroom, Tier 2 is for targeting small groups, and Tier 3 is for the intervention for individual students. The 4 essential components of RTI are, number 1, a school-wide multi-level instructional and behavioral system for preventing school failure for students. Number 2, screening. Number 3, progress monitoring. And number 4, database decision-making for instruction, movement within the multi-level system, and disability identification in accordance with state law. The RTI team consists of the principal, a bilingual and ESL teacher, a general education teacher, a skill and content specialist, a special education teacher, and a student's parents. Differentiating instruction can mean a world of difference to the students in your classroom.